Hey, what's up guys? Gangsta Joler here. So today we are going to be working on a white gold ring that is, let me zoom us in a little bit here. Maybe that'll help. Try it that way. Maybe not so much. Come on, you can do it. But anyways, we're working on a white gold ring. It's kind of got a unique shape to it, which is different. There we go. Now it wants to focus. Nice. But you can see it's a white gold ring. It's a little unique. It's kind of got like it's round, but it kind of has like the straight sides and then curves at the bottom there. So, but we're sizing this down to a 6. I believe this is a 7. Yeah, it's a 7. So we are going to go ahead and mark our one size down here. Grab our trusty little markers here. Let's see. I kind of moved things around, so there they are. Alright, and then we're going to pick, we need one size down. So we'll go ahead and mark our one size. And go straight down. There we go. And if you got a saw, use your saw. If you got cutters, cut them if you got them. I'm gonna have to make that a shirt. Cut them if you got them. That's it. It's a pretty thick thing there. Alright, now let's go ahead and file the sides down here. Get them even with our cutting disc. Alright, now grab our little crimpers here, and we're going to pull this together. Pull it together. And then weld her together. Alright guys, we're almost together. close together. And we want to make sure we get it as even or as flush as we possibly can. Don't want to have any gaps if you can help it. Don't want no gaps. Alright, that is about as flush as we're going to get, guys. Alright, let's go ahead and weld this sucker together. I did not turn my torch tanks on, so we're going to have to do that for sure. Let's go ahead and get our torch here. Turn them on. Always try to remember to turn your tanks off. You don't want to leave them on, preferably. You don't want to try to blow your place up. Not that it would, but it's just better to always remember to, when you're done for the day, turn your tanks off. Do not forget. Go ahead and set that on fire. Let that denatured alcohol boric acid burn off. Let's go ahead and cut us a piece of white gold solder here, which I'm going to have to get more of here pretty quick because we're getting down to about a quarter sheet, if that. A small piece there. Go ahead and put some flux on there. And there we go, guys. The ring is sized. It's done. That's all we gotta do. Flux will hold it together. A little super glue. Take care of it. No, I'm fucking with you guys. Alright, let's zoom in here. So I kind of love it because our neighbor's trying to sell their house. And we got 2 pits. I got a pit and a pit Connie Corso mix. I got them as puppies, but they're getting big fast. And I love it because every time they're trying to show the house next door, when the realtor comes, the 2 pits are just barking at them, and people are looking at them like, oh god, they got pits. I'm like, yeah, I got pits, so you're going to have to learn to live with it. So I was never a pit fan. This is my first time having big dog. Like, I've had big dogs, but having pits, I've always thought they were very not family friendly. But this one, they're actually both mixes. So one is a pit and bull terrier mix, and the other one is a pit Connie Corso mix. And dude, I will forever have a pit or pit bull terrier or the mix of the two. Dude, I love the hell out of them dogs, man. It goes my family, my daughter, and then them dogs. Like, them dogs are, they are the shit, man. So if you haven't ever had one, I recommend getting at least one. I got two, so you know the one wouldn't be by itself. Wanted him to have a friend. But I've always had dogs. Like we've always had big dogs, but like the last two that I had were let me zoom you guys back out. We're gonna let that cool off for a second because it's got sapphires in there. We don't want to shatter them. But the two that I had before, and they passed probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, almost like back to back. They were like 13 years old, but they were Australian Shepherds. But they're not much of guard dogs. They'd let anybody in. But I tell you what, man, these two pits I got, dude, they will die for you. I mean, legit. I used to not be a pit fan. I'm a huge pit fan now. So, to any of you guys out there that are not fond of pits or Connie Corsas or Rottweilers, don't judge until you've had one. That's all I have to say. Don't judge till you got one. Because they're probably the two best dogs I think I've ever had, and I've always had dogs. Always. Let's see, where's tweezers? We'll use these temporarily. Let's stick this on the mandrel. That'll help it cool down a little faster. Still pretty hot. Mandrel will help dissipate some of that heat just a little bit. But yeah, man. I'm gonna have to do a video. I have to show you guys these two dogs. I freaking love the hell out of them. Now, I didn't like them when they were puppies, though, man. I got both these as puppies, and they will chew your house apart, man. They were chewing on furniture. They were chewing on, I mean, you name it, man. They were chewing on all that shit. Destroying furniture, destroying boxes, chewing on the kitchen chairs. So you will have that, but they do grow out of that from what I'm told. One of mine is kind of growing out of that. The other one is still nibbling on stuff, but I'll be glad when they grow out of it, man. But once they grow out of it, man, these are going to be probably the two best dogs I've ever had, or we've ever had. I shouldn't say I, because me and my family, we've always had dogs. Alright, this is cooled off now, so let's go ahead and tap it with our rawhide hammer, not rubber mallet. I call it a rubber mallet, but it's really a rawhide mallet. Alright. And white gold's not quite as malleable as yellow gold, so it's a little bit tougher to get rounded back out. So you're going to have to do a little bit of tapping to get it where you want it. Now here's a controversial thing. People look at me when I'm crazy when I tell them. They say white gold is different from yellow gold. No, white gold is yellow gold. And you say, okay, well, how's that? How's white gold is white, yellow gold is yellow? It's like, yeah, but it's still yellow gold. Now, how is that? Because all white gold is yellow gold that has been mixed with different alloys to make it white. And depending on what alloy they mix it with, you know, white gold tends to be a little harder than yellow gold. But essentially, white gold is yellow gold. That's why when you wear a white gold ring, it gets that yellowish tint to it after a while. And that's the yellow gold kind of coming out of it. You know what, y'all? I really hope we're not going to have to resize this thing. We might not have cut enough out of there. Then again, we might have. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment. Okay, so that's like right at a 6, and that is right at a 6. So let's let me file this inside down just a little bit with our rock before I go doing any more tapping, because I don't want it to end up being too big. Alright. So you can get that inside file down a little bit. Almost got it filed where we want it. Alright, let's take a look here. So she's right at about a 6. Okay, it's at a 6 that side, and we're at a 6 on that side as well. Alright, we're going to leave that like that. Because we do have some filing we still got to do a little bit. So let's go ahead and file the top part of the shank. Yeah, I never was a fan of pits, and all of a sudden I am, man. All of a sudden I am a fan, which is crazy. I got dogs I never thought I would have. I said I would never have Chihuahuas because they're ankle biters, and I'd never have pits. And wouldn't you know it, I got 2 Chihuahuas inside and 2 pits outside, and then they come in at night. And the Chihuahuas seem to think they're pits because when I bring the pits in, they want to try to go after the pits. So I have to put the Chihuahuas in a freaking cage because they have small man syndrome. And they think they're the big dogs when they're really not. But they get along for the most part. But this one of my Chihuahuas was going after one of the pits, and the pits finally had enough of him going after. Now she don't try to bite him or nothing, but she fucking follows him everywhere. And he don't like that. So then he just starts trying to go after her more. And it's just crazy. But yep, got 4 dogs I never thought I would ever own. Now the 2 pits I actually bought. Most of my dogs I always got were like strays and stuff. And these 2 Chihuahuas that I got, they were strays too. I got some, there's this one guy was wanting to get rid of, he said if somebody didn't take the Chihuahua, he was going to shoot it later on that night. And I was like, you crazy, dude? So I wound up taking that one. Then another lady, she passed away, and nobody wanted her Chihuahua. So I got an applehead Chihuahua, a deerhead Chihuahua, and then a pit bull terrier, and then a pit Cane Corso. And we're just filing the sides down, try to get them even. And remember, you don't have to push hard. You always want to just go in one direction. Do not want to push hard though. This is a nice ring, man. Nice and solid ring. Not quite like this lady's husband's ring. It's got some cracks under the head and stuff. But men typically tend to be a little rougher with their jewelry than females. Typically, that's not always the case. I've seen some females wreck some jewelry too. I have. It's a very unique, odd-shaped ring, which is weird. Haven't seen one like that in quite some time. But it is unique nonetheless. Alright, let's get to the other side here. Alrighty. getting there. We're getting there. Got this side looking good. This side, not so much. But yeah, let me know in the comments, man. We got any other pit fans out there that maybe wasn't a fan of pits or big dogs, Connie Corsos, or Rottweilers? Now all of a sudden you are. Maybe you got one now. Yeah, man, I was not a fan, but I am now. I don't know. It must be a guy thing. That must be what it is. I think, like, I loved my Australian Shepherds, the two that we had that passed. But there's just something about I guess for a dude, something about having an aggressive dog, one that's loyal to you, but then it's like, is ready to eat anybody else. There's just something about that, man. It's like, man, I missed the boat, man. I should have been doing this a long time ago. Yep, totally missed the boat on that one. Yeah, still need to do some more filing, y'all. We're getting there, but we're not there yet. And like I said, you just want to do soft, single strokes, one direction. You don't want to push real hard, because then you're going to groove the side in, and you're not trying to do that. You're just trying to make it even. Make it even with the rest of the shank. And then you'll have to go across the top, kind of get these corners. Okay, just kind of run across the top a little more here. Kind of get these jagged corners. Alright guys, let me switch to the inside rock again one more time. Okay. Alright, now let's go ahead and switch to our silicone wheel for the inside, and we'll smooth that out. But before we do that, let's check the size again now that we've kind of done some filing there. It's a 6. And that's a 6. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this inside smoothed out. Hold on, guys, I gotta adjust you just a hair here. And scoot you over a little bit. Alright, let's switch to our other silicone wheel now. And we will there we go. Get the outer and the side smoothed out. Got some pretty deep gashes here on the sides. Looks like where she might have whacked it a couple times. Alright, let's hit the sides now. definitely a different shaped ring. Definitely unique, to say the least. I gotta stand up for a second, guys. My foot's trying to fall asleep on me. My leg was getting pinched on the stool here. Gotta get some feeling back in it. It's all numb. There we go. Alright, now we might be able to continue here. Go ahead and hit the other side now. Alright, guys. Check our size one more time here. We're 6. We are 6 and we are a 6. So, with that said, let's go ahead and I'll drop this into ultrasound and then we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys, after I polish it. We'll be right back. Actually, I'll film polishing it. Screw it. I'll put it in ultrasound and we'll go polish it together. We'll be right back. Guys, we're ready to polish this sucker. Not that the camera likes to focus or anything. But at any rate, let's go and get this thing polished. I promise at some point I will get another camera. I have to. I don't have a choice. Get them prongs looking good. Now we'll flip this on high. Alright guys, looking good. Getting there. Alright guys. Let's hit the other side here. Alright guys. Alright, let's hit the inside now. Alright guys, I think we're ready to go drop this in the ultrasound. We'll go drop it in ultrasound, get all this rouge off, then we'll come back and look at the finished product guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that ring. As you can see, as soon as I get this thing to focus, which may be 20 years from now, I promise I will get a new camera, y'all. But at any rate, see, we got this one sized from a 7 to a 6. Got it nice, cleaned and polished. Polished it with you guys. And yeah, this is another repair down, y'all. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Lord, whatever your name is. Shout out to Robert Hunter, I think is his name. Shout out to all you guys, man, all my subscribers. You guys have been rocking with me, and I appreciate it, man. But this is Gangsta Joel. If you'd like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, I'll have the link for that down in the description, although it's not required. It just helps the channel grow and show some love. If you looking to buy, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have the link for that down in the description. And then also, if you're looking to buy jewelry in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if you're not in the Jacksonville area and you're looking to buy jewelry online, I highly recommend Stellar Jewelry, which I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. Trying to think, guys. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know. Oh yeah. If you want to check out my Kick reaction and gaming stream, I'll have the link for that down in the description. And then also my TikTok live reaction and gaming stream. And also I post some jewelry repair videos over there as well. I'll have the link for that down in the description. But I think that about covers everything, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments if y'all are pit fans or used to not be pit fans, or Rottweilers or Dobermans or whatever, Connie Corsos, and now you have one, or you're a fan of them now because you have one. I'd be interested to see, because I went most of my life not liking vicious dogs, but I was missing the boat on that one, guys. I'm sorry. I missed the boat, man. But better late than never. Alright, guys. I will see you guys on the next one. This is the Gangsta Jeweler. Take care, y'all. See you guys on the next one.